Oneyplays! With friends.
You still won't switch to Son of Sparta mode.
We're on Son of Sparta mode.
Yeah, you fucking dweeb power.
You want to play in Dante Must Die?
Better be.
That's the one.
There you go. No, thanks.
I'm gonna play Dante Must Cry.
In Dante Must Die, you walk into a room and a demon immediately slashes you and you fall over and die. Because it's really hard.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, sorry, go on.
Oh no, wait, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna say Dave said he had a fucking epic story earlier and he was saving it.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I do have a story here, Jeff. Do you want to play while I tell my story, Jeff?
I could.
Wait, let's watch this first. What's going on here?
Good idea.
It almost looks like he's passing a kidney stone.
She's the most beautiful fucking Puck I've ever seen.
My tattooed goddess.
I want to punch her teeth out of her head.
You want to punch her in her fucking her eye model and teeth remain in the same spot, but her fucking skin like ragdolls on the ground.
They should add ragdoll face physics next.
They should.
It's the next breakthrough. That's a fleshlight.
Yeah, is that the comfy hand?
It's got the perfect grip.
How do you know that's a fucking name of it?
Wait, who the fuck is that?
That's Birdhauer.
That's V's
Birdhauer.
Griffin.
Is that V as a griffin? Did he animorph?
That's not V as a Griffin Animorph. He has a pet. He has evil shadow pets.
Dude, she looks just
But it
like this
talks
fucking
human.
bitch, dude.
This
Wait, what?
music.
What?
This is like something you would hear in fucking Persona.
Yeah, kinda.
Just like really chilled and like relaxing. And now it's like
She's a Joker fan too, Dave.
What is
Just
she
like you.
doing?
Jeff,
Yeah.
would you fuck Nico?
Take my leave now.
Yes.
Is that her?
Yeah, that's her.
See you along the way.
Chris, she kind of smiles like you.
The Clyfar.
She does a little bit. I'll give you that.
She has a big goofy grin from ear to ear.
I want to see it again.
these kind of
She's a nice mouth.
That's your problem, Jeff. Stop.
That's how Jeff always talks. Pretty much every day.
Jeff, would you let her put that cigarette out on your ball sack?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you're just
Jeff
looking for
started sweating when he
upgrades and
said
she's just
that.
like "Sss."
His blue vein started pulsating.
blue vein on his penis.
What?
No, his
no,
head.
my forehead. What are you
Jeff's
talking about?
signature blue veins.
His anime vein.
Oh.
My story is, this is at MagFest, like years and years ago at this point. But there's this app called Yik Yak, and that lets you just sort of see like tweet-like posts from other people, but only within a certain radius. So I was at MagFest and I was bored, and I saw a Yik Yak post saying like, if somebody wants to get sucked off, meet me by the crazy taxi machine. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking awesome. I was like, that sounds pretty cool. I was like, I'm not doing anything. I can go for getting sucked off right now. So I go to the crazy taxi machine and I start playing it. I respond to the post. I'm just like, yeah, I'm down for being sucked off.
No, you did not.
I swear to God, I did.
Are
I
you
was
serious?
that fucking horny.
Yeah, I was, and I wasn't seeing anybody at the time, so I was like, this is cool. I was like, this is what living life is all about. So I said, yeah, I would like to be sucked off. That sounds very cool. And they
You
were
said
like,
it very politely.
I was like, please and thank you. Please suck me off. I would really appreciate if you like just gulp the cum out of me.
I would really just love that.
So I go to the arcade place to play Crazy Taxi, and I'm just chilling out. I'm playing it, and nobody's really nearby. And then all of a sudden, like, they said like they'd be there soon in like the little thread there, and the thread's like totally anonymous. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just enjoy this cool game till my cock gets sucked off. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, people wait behind each other to play arcade games, but all of a sudden there's like this creepy fucking like old dude who's like 60 years old, and like he's way older than anybody else at MagFest, and he's just there, and I'm like, oh, okay, well maybe he wants to play. I hope they get here to suck me off
Yeah,
soon.
he does want to fucking play.
And then all of a sudden I'm like checking the phone. They're like, I'm not seeing any response. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, what if they're not actually a girl? And then I'm playing the game, and the person's just kind of like licking their lips and like
Dave.
looking at me, and their hand is on the chair.
This is you. This is just you. This is you waiting for him, Dave.
They're like tracing the outline of your shoulders.
Fucking like fire shooting out of my cocks. I'm waiting.
Dave? How do you do
He said the
this? I
old man
forget.
is like fucking
Oh,
revving
yeah.
up his cock. Is
Yeah,
that, that's
exactly.
what you
The
were
old man is
saying?
getting max exceeds looking at me. So I'm sitting there and I'm playing the game very nervously at this point, fucking up all the drop-offs in Crazy Taxi. And the person on my phone, they respond. I'm like, oh my god, okay, what are they gonna say?
Oh, I heard this part. You said you could hardly contain your boner and turn around.
No, that's not it. I could contain my boner. I was getting scared looking at them. Well, like I could see them in the reflection of the game, and I was getting fucking nervous. And then the phone, I checked it, and they said, "I'm here, winky face."
Oh my
And like the old
God.
man's looking at me, and I'm like, "Oh my fuck, I regret this. I regret this so fucking much." And like I don't know what to do. I'm like sweating. It's like I don't want to be sucked off by an old dude, and I'm being looked at weird. And like the time on the counter is running down, and it's just like really bad.
Time's running out.
Exactly. And then like I don't know what to fucking do. And then all of a sudden they like tap me on the shoulder and they're like, "Are you done playing the fucking game yet? Like I've been waiting for my turn for fucking forever." And I was like, oh, okay. And then I checked my phone, and they're like, "Where are you?" I'm by the Crazy Taxi machine that's by Dig Dug, and that's the one across from the arcade place.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, thank God." I was like, "Are you a guy or a girl?" They're like, "I'm a man, baby." I was like, "All right, fuck this." You should have fucking said it to begin with. Fuck
You
you.
deserved every moment of that.
I do, but yeah, I do.
You do, and also that means you had probably the best game of Crazy Taxi of all time.
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
that timer really fucking meant like it
That was
really
a real
meant
life
something.
experience.
I've never been like more like awkwardly nervous in my whole life.
Yeah. Are you going to associate Crazy Taxi with that from now on?
Kind of. I've totally fucking learned my lesson.
So every
I've-
time you play Crazy Taxi, you'll see the silhouette of a fucking old man behind you rubbing his cock.
Delicious. This is going to be crazy.
Why'd you just destroy the last cherry tree?
Yeah,
I'm panicking. I forget
me the
I
fucking
forget the
controller, Jeff.
entire control scheme for this.
Listen, he had to tell a story. Story's over.
Hey, Jeff, you tell me crazy stories about all of your sexts and weird shit like that.
I'll tell you a
have that much
story my
crazy
mom
stories.
told me the other day. My parents had on the movie. Spoilers to this movie, but Shutter Island.
Ah.
And at the end, I don't know if you've seen it. The wife drowns their kids, right?
Yeah.
And my mom get all like, she like covered her face, and I'm like, my mom likes Quentin Tarantino movies, so I don't know why the hell she was getting all weird about the end of this movie. And I'm like, what happened? And she's like, oh, I never told you this, but when I was in college, I would babysit my neighbor's kids. And the one time I came home, there were police cars outside, and I went over, and the cop told me the wife took her kids out to the Delaware River and just drowned them.
Oh my god.
God.
She got
what the
locked
fuck,
up in a
man?
mental institution. Yeah.
Jesus.
Why
There
did
you
she
go,
do
the
it? She
end.
just didn't want to take
She
care of
just got
kids anymore?
Yeah, I guess. She just went nuts.
You know, sometimes
mean-
you just gotta go some nuts.
Yeah, just gotta live, you know?
I swear, man, like, I could not take care of kids.
I
if
could
any-
not drown my child. I just
Yeah,
couldn't
no,
do it.
I would probably like. Okay, for me, it's like anytime I hear a kid, or like, I swear I'm cursed. Anywhere I go, I always hear kids, like the giggling of kids having fun, and it fucking enrages me because I hate like
Dude.
just laughter and it just annoys the fuck out of me. But then like, if I had a kid, and when I was little, like when I was like 12, I had to watch my like 1-year-old brother. And I fucking hated it. Maybe that's where my hate for like whining babies comes from, because like I had to watch my baby brother and I didn't know what to do because I didn't know how to make a fucking bottle and I didn't know what I was doing. I just had to watch him. He just bitched all day while I tried playing some golfing game on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And holy shit, man, like I still have like fucking PTSD memories of babies crying and just kids crying because of that shit. Because I had to watch kids. I definitely couldn't be a parent. I'd be a bad parent because like I would just fuck with my kids. As fucked up as this is
That's
say.
illegal.
No, I wouldn't fuck them. I would fuck with them. Like I would just screw around with them. They'd come home one day and I
I'll just burn their stuff.
no. I would just hide certain items in the
walk
room.
naked on hot coals.
I would just no.
I would throw the radio in the bathtub. It'd be so funny. No, but Corey, I figured it out. You know the way kids voices and kids talking and screaming and all that's so fucking annoying?
Yeah.
It's because there's this frequency that humans fucking hate. It's between 2,000 hertz and 5,000 hertz.
Yeah,
And
that's
it-
just fucking sounds babies
And their
make.
voices are just always at that, so it fucking sucks.
Yeah, and the only thing babies know how to do is cry and eat and shit, and it's just like, but like I said, if I had a kid, first of all, I'd want to like, I mean, like, I would want to get a kid who's a little older. I'd be
Yeah.
down for adoption, obviously, but at the same time, I would feel the need to want to fuck with them because if they were bad kids, like,
Yes.
I would just like, so. They would come home and like they were just being a little shit. So I go into their room and I would hide something and they'd walk in it. I'd be like, I took something from your room. Try and guess what it is.
That's fucking.
But I wouldn't actually take anything from the
Corey,
room.
this is the shit your dad did to you, probably.
No.
This is
Diabolical.
exactly what your dad did
My
to you.
dad would actually take my stuff and go outside and smash it with an object.
So you would just be one step below
I wouldn't
it.
do it. I
Corey,
would
you're gonna repeat the
psychologically.
cycle. You're gonna make your kids turn into you.
No, I would just be. I would be creative with how I fucked with
You're
my
gonna
kids.
turn your kids into your dad.
I would be creative with how I fucked with my kids.
I would sprinkle coconut shavings on their hair.
What was the coolest thing you owned as a kid? I had this Mad Max go-kart. That was really cool.
You had a Mad Max go-kart?
I mean, it was a steel frame with like wooden boards for a chair and a fucking lawnmower engine in the back.
That's fucking
Even like the
awesome.
steering wheel was like everything was metal.
That's dangerous, but it's
Oh
fucking
my
cool.
god, it was crazy. Yeah, I think going really fucking fast. I felt like I was gonna die every time I was in it.
All the shit, everything
My
I've
dad
ever
was just
owned
like,
was
"Go
garbage.
wild, man!" We had a few acres to drive around on, so I just like went nuts.
I had this, I guess the coolest thing I ever had was I had this like weird Frankenstein doll. You could open up its chest and it had like all these like organs you could take out and it would make noises whenever you removed its organs.
Oh, I remember that. I never had it, but my friends did.
Yeah, and you could like, the point of the toy was you're supposed to take the organs out and misorganize it. So like he says different stuff. Like you take his heart and put it in his foot and you take his like lungs and stick it in his... So it's basically like a toy for psychopaths, but it was a really cool toy.
Yeah.
And one day, you know, this is another reason why I had a fear of like fucking dolls and shit and weird shit like that. One day, in the middle of the night, it just started going like haywire and just like its eyes used to like light up. It had this blue eyes that would light up.
Yeah.
And it just lit up in the middle of the night and just started saying stuff. Nothing interacted with it. It just started going off. And I guess that's what happens when it's like when you watch videos. It's like really funny of watching like Furbies when they're dying. They're like.
Like took the almost on fire. They're just freaking the fuck out.
And they're just like torching them while they're like. That's what he was doing. It was just like the batteries were dying, so it was going haywire because it was on all the time.
It's like that video of the fucking skull in the kitchen. They're
Yeah.
like, get out of here, David!
Like,
Get
dude.
out!
You gotta get out of here! Get out!
He's like dancing like skeletons.
That's the funniest fucking video.
It's pretty good.
I'm gonna say really quick on the topic of like raising kids. I think I would do a horrible job. I never want kids.
Good.
And I get an insane laugh out of when we go to diners and shit, and Corey's just sitting there. If he hears a child say or do anything at all, like Corey does this thing where like his eyes can just look like evil and malicious. Like Corey's like the happiest person I know. But if he hears a kid anywhere, like he'll leer over, just be fucking pissed.
Yeah, I
And,
don't-
like his mood is instantly ruined, and then he
I
hates
don't-
everything and has less fun.
I don't have like psycho tendencies. I'm not thinking of drowning my kids in the Delaware River, but I don't like the laughter of children. It annoys the fuck out of me. It's like I don't like when kids are having fun. Like we went to a burger place. I know this sounds fucked up, and I'm probably just seem like a horrible person, but when these kids are on their fucking leapfrog or whatever the hell, and they're just like, Mom,
Leapfrog's like in 2001.
yeah, whatever, leapfrog, when they're on their laptops and they're just like trying to like fucking match up the letters and they're just constantly getting their mom's attention. I just want to be like, your fucking mom is right there, dude. Touch her. She can fucking hear you. Your voice is near her
Corey,
ear.
the brains haven't formed yet. Their brains are putting themselves together.
That's why I couldn't be a kid, because I would talk to I'm like nearly 30 and I act like a child. Like a kid would come to me
Yeah.
and he would like, you know, he'd have his report card. I'd be like, dude, I don't understand this shit. He's like, my education died when I stopped going to school. It's like, you're gonna fail.
Here, I will say babies will be babies, and when they're not screaming, they're the funniest little fuckers in the world.
Yeah,
but,
the funniest thing to watch is compilations of babies falling over.
yeah, and getting brakes dropped on their heads.
Yeah,
But
that's the funniest
I
thing.
will say, in your defense, people nowadays do not know how to give their kids fucking manners.
They just don't care. It's just like you see so many parents like, and that's another thing too. It's like I don't want to keep talking about the topic about children, but I swear to God, man, every time you go to these places, you go to an airport, You go to a restaurant. These people have kids and they're just sitting there eating food while their kids are fucking bawling and crying. And it's just like, I understand your life is probably miserable at home and that's all you hear all day. But at the same time, stay at your fucking home with your crying kids because you're going out in public and not doing anything about it. And you look like an asshole, even if you are tired of it. Or, I don't know, make a makeshift fucking restaurant where you can pretend that you're going out or something. I mean, good Lord, it's like, that's why, here's the thing I've always wanted. I talked about this before. It's fucked up, obviously, but I think like they should create something that incapacitates kids that isn't harmful. So when you go to public places, you basically, it's not like chloroform, but it's something you fucking wrap over their face that just like knocks them out immediately.
Like chlorophyll?
No, it's just like you spray them like a dog and they're out like immediately.
That's exactly
Like they're like sitting.
It's no different at all.
No!